Hello everybody, Interi back again with another video. And today's video, guys, is going to be about I had a question a couple days ago from a subscriber. I think he's a subscriber, Sperota, I think his name was, and he was asking me, do you know that Federer's lost a lot of matches throughout the years, close matches? Now, we are not talking about only when he has lost, when he has had match points, which, if I'm not mistaken, it is 22 matches Federer has lost when he has had match points. But he has actually lost many other missed opportunities, like missed breakpoint opportunities, missed set points, and of course match points. Like, I remember some of the matches, for example, the 2015 US Open final between Federer and Djokovic. Federer, I believe, had 24 breakpoint opportunities, and he only converted 4 times. Against Nadal, 2008 Wimbledon, that epic one, that classic one, Federer had 13 breakpoint opportunities and only converted in 1. What is the reason for this, that it is happening to Federer? Why him? Look, guys, every tennis player misses opportunities. You cannot find one professional tennis player that has not missed break points or set points, and even match points. Maybe match points you can find someone that has never lost a tennis match without having, when he has had match points. But when it comes to break points, set points, you cannot find anyone who has never missed those opportunities. So it happens to everyone. But Federer is not a regular dude. Federer is, you know, one of the greatest tennis players of all time, the Grand Slam leader with 20, at least at the moment. But I think that will be changed in the future. So why is this happening to him so many times? Because he is for sure missed more opportunities than his two big rivals, Nadal and Djokovic. That's for sure. And I have thought about this. This is not easy to. This is not an easy answer, an easy question to answer, really. But my conclusion of this is that Federer, it is a couple of reasons why this has happened to Federer. One of the reasons is Federer has a much more difficult tennis style than Nadal and Djokovic. He plays with much more smaller margins. We all know this. This is not any news. He is not a player like Dominic Thiem, hit or miss. Not that kind of. He doesn't take risks as much as Dominic Thiem, for example, because Dominic Thiem takes a lot of risks, in my opinion. Not that way. Or Stan Wawrinka, he also takes a lot of risks, to mention some of them. But he doesn't play safe tennis like Djokovic and Nadal. He doesn't play high percentage of tennis like Djokovic and Nadal. Federer plays lower percentage of tennis, more risky tennis than Nadal and Djokovic, for example. He isn't a player that he will go in long exchanges, 50 rallies over the net, because he knows that it's not the way to be successful for many reasons. His backhand is not as good as Djokovic and Nadal. So Federer will try to end the point as fast as possible. He will not rush. He will not stress and end the point in 2 or 3 punches. Yeah, if he gets the opportunity, he will do that. But if he gets one short point, I mean one short ball into the court, he will try to end it as fast as possible. And that is not the case all the time with Nadal and Djokovic, his two big rivals. So Federer has much more smaller margins in his game than Nadal and Djokovic. And when you have that kind of small margins, you will miss. You will miss. That is the truth, guys. You cannot always be successful with that kind of play, with that kind of game. One of the reasons is that he plays with much more smaller margins than Nadal and Djokovic, and that's why he has missed much more opportunities than his two big chief rivals. The other reason is he has a much worse backhand than Djokovic and Nadal, and when he has the breakpoint opportunities, to mention the breakpoints, why he has lost so many breakpoint opportunities throughout the years, at least much more than his two big chief rivals, Nadal and Djokovic, is that when you have a breakpoint opportunity, you are the serve returner. So you are not serving, you are receiving. So when his opponents will serve, they are not crazy, they are not stupid. They will serve to Federer's backhand. They will not serve to Federer's forehand, because Federer's forehand returns are much better than Federer's backhand returns. I've seen it millions of times in 15 years, guys. Especially Nadal. Especially Nadal loves to hit slice, to take Federer, to serve to Federer's backhand. He loves it. I remember the 2008 Wimbledon final, that epic classic one. All Federer's 13 breakpoint opportunities that Federer had in that final, if I'm not mistaken, 11 or 12 times Rafa served to Federer's backhand. Why? Because Federer's backhand returns are not superior, guys. Federer is a decent returner, but he's not an unbelievable returner like Nadal and Djokovic, especially Djokovic. Nadal is a good returner. People doesn't talk about Nadal's returns. Nadal isn't a returner that he will hurt you immediately. It is not his game plan to hurt you immediately. Nadal's returning tactics are to go back to the court and try to hit the ball with depth. He will try to put you into the rally, because he knows when he puts his opponent into the rally, he knows that he will kill him, because Rafa and Nadal together with Djokovic are the two greatest baseline players of all time that I've ever seen, and for sure that you have ever seen as well. So that is Rafa's tactic. He tries not to push you immediately. He tries to put you into the rally. Novak, he isn't like Nadal. He tries to punish you immediately. He stays closer to the baseline, and he wants to make winners immediately if he can. But they are both great serve returners. But Djokovic for me is the greatest serve returner of all time. But Nadal is not a bad serve returner as well. So, and that's why when they have breakpoint opportunities, Djokovic and Nadal, they will for sure be much more successful than Federer, because they are better returners than Federer. That's the second reason. The third reason is, guys, let's face it, Federer is not even as close as good baseline player like Nadal and Djokovic. Federer and Djokovic and Nadal, they are the two greatest baseline players of all time. That's why they produced that marathon Grand Slam final in 2012 Australian Open, the longest Grand Slam final that we have ever seen, 5 hours and 54 minutes. Because they are not afraid to go into long exchanges. They are brutal, both of them. That's why we call them Terminators. It is not any coincidence why many people call them the Terminators, Nadal and Djokovic. And Federer cannot play that long exchanges. Why? Because he has as good as backhand as those two, and he's not as good as from the baseline and like those two. So Federer will try to end the point faster than those two. And these are the top 3 reasons in my mind, in my opinion, why Federer has lost many more close matches than his top shift rivals, Nadal and Djokovic. His backhand is not as good as those, his returns are not as good as those, and his baseline game is definitely not as good as those. And then we can put in the mental part as well. I'm not saying that Federer is weak mental. You cannot be weak mental and win 20 Grand Slam titles and win over 100 titles. And win over 100 ATP titles in total. But he's not as good mentally and like Djokovic and Nadal. He isn't, guys. If some of you thinks that he's as good as those two mentally, then you're lying to yourself. I know that Federer is not. He's good mentally, Federer. He's strong mentally. Like I said, you cannot be this successful and have this magical career by being weak in the head. So he's good mentally, he's strong in the head, Federer. I've seen it. He has won a lot of close matches as well against other players who are not named Nadal or Djokovic. But when it comes mentally against these two, Federer is not as good as his top shift rivals mentally. He definitely is not. So the top 4 reasons why Federer has lost so many close matches throughout the years is his backhand is not as good as his top shift rivals. His baseline game is not even close as good as his top shift rivals. He has a very difficult playing style with small margins, and he's not as good and great mentally as Djokovic and Nadal. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye bye.